Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to this video. In this video we will learn how to write the letter Alif. This is going to be the first letter that we learn in the Arabic alphabet. The letter Alif has 7 nuqat in its mizan and it is segregated into 3 parts. At least that's the way I look at it, and I have designed a very easy way to explain this letter. So kindly follow the steps and you will inshallah be able to write the letter easily. Like always, before I start, I seek forgiveness from Allah for any shortcomings that I may have while writing this letter. Okay, so you keep the qalam at a standard angle of around 80 degrees when you start writing the letter, and you go towards the right hand side. You dip towards the right hand side before turning back towards the left hand side. So let me start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And go as slow as possible. There's no need for you to rush. You move your hand down just as I explained along with the qalam. You keep going towards the right hand side. Continue going, and right at the end you turn the qalam towards you, or bring the qalam towards you rather. Of course, when you're writing with a bigger qalam there will be loose ends, so you can just give the final touch to the letter. Okay, now observe carefully. If I make a straight line from the ibtada is the beginning point, starting point of the letter. This is the ibtada. If I make a straight line from there, I will see a gap. Can you see? Okay, let me try doing it again. Hopefully you can see the line now. You can see a gap, and that gap needs to be present while writing the letter Alif. There has to be a tilt towards the right hand side. It should be approximately half a nukta, a quarter nukta. Okay, that's the body of Alif basically. Then comes the dhuluf. Of course, I'll break these down properly and explain you again. Let me first finish the letter. You start the dhuluf somewhere slightly above the ibtada of Alif, and you drop towards the right hand side like this, and go slow again. There's no need for you to rush. Okay, and then you can give this pointy edge right at the end and fill this in later. Okay, this basically constitutes the letter Alif. Now let's break it down into 3 parts that I was discussing. The first part is the body, the second part is the tail, and the third part is the head. Yes, before that, let's measure this. This should be anywhere between 6 to 7 nukta. Three. Approximately 6 nukta. Okay. Alif can be anywhere between 4 to 11 nukta. Okay, off lately I've been writing 6 nukta Alif for a while now. Okay. Right, so let's first discuss the first part of the letter. The first part of the letter, which is approximately 3 or 4 nukta, goes towards the right hand side. Drops towards the right hand side. There you go. Do you see a drop towards the right hand side? That's how the first part goes. The second part, you start gradually bringing the qalam back towards the left hand side, but that is very, very gradual. Like that. Okay, so if I write it without breaking, it would look something like this. There's something on the paper, excuse me. Something like this. Here you go. Okay, so this needs to have a tail, a proper tail, and it does not need to be pointy. It can be blunt. In fact, the larger the size of the letter, the blunter the tail, just as it would be when it comes to dhuluf. Okay, now that we've written the upper part, let's learn how to write the lower part, that is the tail. Now a lot of calligraphers, what they do is, while when they reach the tail, they flick. What they do basically is they reach and then they flick like this. They flick the qalam. That's wrong. Please do not do that. You will never get a hold over your latter part of the letter if you flick. Especially some of the Western calligraphers do this. I strongly disagree with that. Do not do that. If you have watched my video of how to manipulate the qalam, I mean how to make thick strokes and thin strokes with the same qalam, you would know it's just a matter of changing direction. So what you do essentially is you bring the qalam towards you, you move the qalam towards you. That's it, and it will take a thinner shape by itself. Okay, if I slightly break it down, what I'm doing is gradually changing the direction of the motion. So if I change the direction of the motion, it automatically changes the thickness. Okay, that is important. That is the second part. Finally, the third part, how to make the thuluf or the hilya. Watch carefully what I'm about to write right now. This is a nuqta, as you already know. If you don't, go back to the previous video and watch how to make a nuqta. This is a nuqta, and this is a dhuluf. Okay, essentially it is nothing but a straighter nuqta. This is more horizontal, this is more vertical. Okay, now a nuqta has 4 corners. Similarly, dhuluf will also have 4 corners. But look carefully. Do you see 4 corners here? You actually don't. You see just 3 corners, which means this particular corner is hidden inside the body of the alif. And then once you make that, you just give sort of, how do I say it? You put the qalam on the paper consistently and covering the entire nib, and then you draw this. Please note that you need to go up like this and then come down here. It cannot be, it should not ideally be a direct connection like this. I mean, what I'm trying to tell you is you should not connect it like this. You should always come down like this and then connect. That's the etiquette of making hilya. Okay, so kindly note hilya is nothing but a vertical nuqta with the lowest part being hidden inside the letter alif, body of the letter alif. Okay, so let's demonstrate that. Just making that much. Start, go slightly towards the right hand side. This is where the 4th edge or the corner of the hilya is. Now from there I just make a straight line and then connect. Also please note this part is going to be blunter. This is not going to be pointy. The bigger the alif, like I said, the blunter the hilya will be. There you go. You can fill this in. Easy, isn't it? Practice and you will get this inshallah easily without any problems. Let's write the letter again, collectively keeping all these 3 points in mind. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First part. And the second part. Okay, a third part, which is the hilya. Kindly note that even hilya has a measurement. This is approximately 1.5 to 2 nuqta depending on the size of the letter that you're writing. Okay, this time I've made consciously a 7 nuqta tall alif. Let's just measure hilya. If you observe carefully, this is 1.5 nuqta. There you go. Now completing the mizan. 6 and 7. Please note alif can go up to 11 nuqta in height it is acceptable, and alif can also end at 4 nokta. Okay, so this is the primary form of the letter alif. Sometimes, just sometimes, you also give a tail to the letter alif from here. Look at this. Just sometimes. I just wanted you to know even this variant is possible. In thuluth, you can fill this in. Okay, so that basically concludes the letter alif. Please note that Arabic calligraphy can easily be written using the concept of common strokes. Inshallah, I will explain that soon. But just to give you a gist, if you learn the letter alif, it means there is a possibility of you having learned a part of many other letters. Like you have learned half the letter lam, you've learned half the letter kaf, you've learned half the letter ta and dha. So just like that, you have covered 5 or part of 5 letters. And that's the approach I'm going to take while teaching these 27 letters. I'm not going to go in series like alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha. I am on the contrary going to go as per the strokes. Now we've done the letter alif. The next letter that I teach you will be the letter ba. You combine alif and ba, you get kaf. The next letter I teach you, inshallah, is going to be noon. You combine alif and noon, you get lam. Okay, technically it's alif and qaf, but you can take a little bit of leeway there. Similarly, we keep progressing. For example, if I teach you the letter jim, ha, kha, the next logical letter is ayn, because ayn shares strokes with the letter jim, ha, kha. Okay, so that's what I'm going to basically teach. And that's the approach I'm going to take to teach you these huruf or the letters. That's all I have for the letter alif. If you have any questions or any suggestions, please leave a comment below, or you can message me on my Instagram page @qalamarkagas. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.